the first most asked technical question on the Maserati Ghibli, the Levante, the Quattroporte with the twin-turbo V6 engine. I guess I should have mentioned that in the beginning of the video. Where is... Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching and welcome to another episode in James DIY Garage. I'm James and this is my 2014 Maserati Ghibli SQ4. It's got 87, almost 88,000 miles on it. I've had it since 2017 and it's been a very reliable car for me. That's been a problem though. Please bear with me while I struggle to find content for a channel that focuses on DIY maintenance and service on a car that has been so reliable and all the services are complete. So it's been pretty hard finding content for my channel. In this video, I'm going to do the 10 most asked technical questions while I do an inspection on my car to try and find something wrong. Okay, the first and most frequently asked technical question I get is, where's the cam sensor? Well, here's one here and here's one here. But why two? Well, Maserati has given them their own names. This is the cylinder head timing sensor. This is the cylinder head exhaust shaft phase sensor. But this is the intake cam here. The exhaust cam is here. So why are they calling this the exhaust shaft phase sensor when it's taking readings from the intake cam? Well, the reason for this, I think I've finally figured it out because I've been baffled by this for the longest time, is because it reads the difference between the timing on the intake and the exhaust cams and based on the readings from here, and sends it to the ECM to let the ECM know what the timing variation is, how advanced the timing is and how retarded the timing is. And that's what I think is going on here. If I'm wrong, you can leave a comment below letting me know exactly how this works, how they work together. But on the other side, you have the same two sensors. So there you have it. The cam sensors, there's two of them. This is the exhaust shaft phase sensor. This is the cylinder head timing sensor. And they work together. Together, they're both the cam sensors. And they send input to the ECM to read timing advance or retardation. So, okay, the next most asked technical question is, where's the crank sensor? Now the crank sensor is mounted to the side of the transmission on this side of the car, and there's a heat shield that covers it. The heat shield protects that side of the engine from the turbocharger. That you have to, if you want to change that sensor, you have to remove the turbocharger and you have to remove that shield to change the crank sensor. I know, pain in the butt, but that's just where it's at. It's on this side of the car, on the engine block, close to the transmission, right next to the transmission, and that's where the crank sensor is. The next most frequently asked technical question is, where is the fuel evaporation purge valve? This is the line coming from the purge system to the intake manifold. And if you follow this line back, all the way back here, and back underneath, it's directly underneath the engine mount, lateral mount right here. It's directly underneath it. If you shine a flashlight back there, you can see the line connector, green, back in there. There, you can see it right there. I'm sorry for the flashlight. This is a hard area to get to, but you can see it right there. See that green, it's a green button was what it is. That's where the line connects to this line. And there's also an electrical connector down in there. It's kind of hard to get to, but I'm shining the light down in there. If you follow this line here, down in there, you'll get to it. It'll be difficult to replace. It'll be difficult to get that electric connector off, but it can be done. You may have to order the whole hose assembly because Maserati doesn't call it a purge valve. They call it the line from this line to the manifold. That's what they call it if you look on Scuderia. And basically, that green button is a connector that looks just like this here, and functions the same. You just push these buttons, one in the top, one in the bottom, I believe. Yeah, one in the top, one in the bottom, and then you pull it, and it should just, the connector should just come right off. Make sure I didn't take that off there. So this is a check valve right here. You follow the line down on there, and you'll probably have to replace this whole line because that purge valve is integrated into the lines here. These lines are pretty rigid, but they've been heat shrunked onto the purge valve and onto this check valve. You might be able to get it off here, but it's easier just to replace the whole thing rather than having to heat this up so you can remove it. It'd be easier just to replace the whole line. There you have it. Our fuel evaporation system purge valve. Okay, the next most asked technical question was, do you have to change the coil packs when you change the spark plugs? These are the coil packs here. 1, 2, 3, and you've got 3 more on the other side. No, you do not have to change the coil packs when you change the spark plugs. You really only have to change the coil packs if, number one, they're not working. You've already diagnosed that they're not working. Or 2, they're just so old and they just need to be replaced. So no, I did not change these when I changed my spark plugs. The next most frequently asked question, and this is a good one. What is that ticking noise on my engine? And it seems to be coming from right back here. I'll tell you what that ticking noise is. Right back here, there is a high pressure fuel pump. That high pressure fuel pump, it has an insulator around it. They call it a sound insulator, but it doesn't work very well. You can still hear the ticking. All direct injection engines have a high pressure fuel pump. So that is what's making your ticking noise. It is normal, nothing to worry about. They all make that noise, that high ticking noise. It's driven by the cam, and that's why. Okay, the next most asked technical question I get is when I replaced my oil vapor recirculation system, why I didn't just replace the air Disairator here. So here's my old oil vapor recirculation system. I've disassembled it. I had to use a heat gun to pull the tubes off the fittings because they're heat shrunk on. So the question was, why didn't I just replace this oil Disairator, air oil Disairator? The answer is because we have these things here that are attached to the valve covers. These also have seals on them. And these seals, if these seals go bad, it could also cause a vacuum leak. And you don't know which one is coming. You don't know if it's coming from this one, or if it's coming from that one, or if the issue is here. So the best way to make an effective repair is to just replace the whole system. That's my answer. I got this question a couple times. When I replaced the fluid, and I did a fluid change in my power steering system, did I have to reset a light in the dash? The answer is no, I did not. I did not have a light in the dash. I replaced the fluid. I did the fluid change for preventive maintenance, and preventive maintenance only. So now there was no light. I did not have to reset it. You will get a light if this is low here. And I think the light looks a lot like that there. I don't know, mine has never come on. Well, it comes on when I start it, but I don't pay any attention to it, like most people. And so, no, I did not have to reset an oil light after I changed my power steering fluid. Okay, the next most asked question I get, and I believe I've only gotten one of these, is how many quarts of fluid, the transmission fluid, did I have to put in my transmission after I've drained it? So, and there's a follow-on question regarding the transmission fluid change after I go over this. So I ordered 8, and I've got 3 left. So I put 5 liters in there after I drained it. And that includes the drainage that I had after while I was filling it. There was some drainage, after I'd put it in there. But I've got 3 liters left. So the next most asked question regarding the transmission fluid change is, why do I have to change the pan? Okay, here is the pan for the ZF transmission here. You'll probably recognize it when I turn it around. It's kind of dirty because it's been sitting on the floor in my garage. But here's the drain. So here's the pickup here. This is the filter. Yes, you do have to change this when you change the fluid in your transmission, because this is the filter. You've got magnets in here too. That's the fit underneath here. You can check the magnets after you pull the drain pan, see what kind of shavings or anything you have in there. Mine was clean. Yes, you have to change the pan because there's a filter in an integrated filter. Can you just change the filter? No, because it's a part of the pan. You can't pull this off without breaking it. So no, you got to change the whole pan. The next most frequently asked technical question is it worth installing the JB4 in the pedal commander? Yes, it is worth installing the JB4 in the pedal commander. The car has so much more pep and power to it with the JB4. I've been driving it around in map 1 the whole time, with the pedal commander in its second most aggressive setting, and the car is very, very peppy. I mean, you step on that gas pedal and we're gone. So it's so much more fun to drive with it. So yes, it is worth it. And the last but not least bonus question. I know I said there were only going to be 10, but the last one is, why are there 2 caps on the radiator reservoir? Well, this is the main coolant here. This is for your power steering system. Some people think it's for the transmission or for the turbos. No, the transmission and the turbos share the same cooling system as the engine. This is just for the power steering. If you trace the lines, you'll see it goes down to the power steering cooler. So there you have it. And now that I've got this on a lift, I'm going to go underneath, and I'm going to start from front to back, and I'm not going to remove the undercovers because I've done that already. But I'm going to check CV booths. I'm going to check the exhaust. I'm going to check the exhaust. I'm going to check the front diff, the rear diff, the transfer case, because I just changed the fluids. I want to see if they're leaking. Check the drive shafts. Check the just see if I can find something wrong. So let's get to it. Okay, I was underneath, went front to back, back to front, checked everything I said I was going to check, and I couldn't find anything wrong. So it's my conundrum. It's hard to find content for a YouTube channel that focuses on a car, DIY maintenance on a car that is so reliable and all services are done. So such is my conundrum, such is my problem. My channel's not going to go very far. That's okay. I'm getting ready to retire here anyhow. So if you enjoyed watching this video and you learned something, please let me know by tapping that like button. If you learned something and you enjoyed watching the video, please consider subscribing. And with that, I'm going to now, since it's in this position, I'm going to go ahead and polish the lower part of the car and clean and polish the wheels. It's just easier to do on a stool with the car at this level than it is while it's sitting on the ground. It's easier on the back. Thanks for watching. Bye.